Solo today for Factory of the Future. I'm AW Schultz, and I'm here in Luanda, Angola, Africa. I've been asked to come here to do a workshop on planning and scheduling. And I can tell you it's refreshing and also very rewarding knowing that when you think about maintenance planning and scheduling, there's so much stuff that's very interchangeable. The group I'm training with this week are are they are part of a maintenance group that's servicing 83 gas stations. And if you've ever been to any of my workshops or seen any of my trainings or read my book, I typically tailor to the manufacturing community because that's where my background is. But what's really interesting is how the things interact and are very similar. And it doesn't matter if it's the gas stations. I've done it for energy, smart factories, and also just building maintenance that goes into it. Very common roles of planning out the jobs, understanding how notifications go into the CMS, computerized maintenance management system, and how things get scheduled. And then finally, getting the work done. But it comes down to a process. And in all these cases, different industries have very alike processes. And for me, it's fun to talk about. And I'm hoping that the group has taken away some of these key attributes. One of the things I always like to do is do a assessment on them throughout the week, and for them to self-assess themselves to see where they think their opportunities are at. Often what we see is there's differences between what management has priorities on versus what those in charge of the maintenance portion of it see. So when I look at it, different industries, like processes. I mean, if we come back down to the, reliability centered maintenance was developed by Boeing, and manufacturing has adopted it. NASA is taking over it. It's pretty amazing. But if you look at the background, this is a hotel room in Luanda. This is the second time I've been asked to come here. This time's a little bit different. The prior time, it was the industry of shipping. And now we're talking about gas stations. Group's been great, and we've had a lot of fun. And I'm hoping they're taking away some of the critical things that one is understanding some of the metrics that can bring value to them. If you think about metrics, I see a lot of organizations that they have a large breadth of metrics, and that's great because I'm a firm believer you can't fix what you don't measure. But if you're not fixing it, maybe it needs to be measured a little bit differently. We also had a big conversation about critical spares, understanding how to build one of a process of determining what should you have in stock and what you may elect to run to failure, what you may elect to have a plan if it does fail, but not carried in stock. And then understanding the importance of, because you have a critical piece of equipment, but it's redundant, it may not necessarily be called a critical piece of equipment now. It's also interesting that when you're sharing some of these metrics that are out there, that sometimes they'll have them be broken and report just bad data. I was discussing them with it today. They were sharing with me that they are transitioning over to a new CMMS system, And what was offered to them would be what everything that they need. So they're always trying to build and understand. And now the CMS company is wanting to charge them additional for what they had determined as some of the enhancements, even though they're relatively common in a CMS system. So I was just wanting to check in and just show you what beautiful Luanda looks like. Got one more day of training, and what we're doing tomorrow is I call it a game of Jeopardy, where we check for our understandings on the training of the workshop that I performed this week. Usually leads to a very spirited, fun way to finish up a week-long workshop on advanced planning and scheduling. I look forward to doing this again. It's a long trip to get over here. From coming from Dallas, Texas, it's a little over 14-hour flight to Dubai, and from landing in Dubai, there's a 22-hour layover, and then from there to Dubai to Angola, Luanda, there's another 8 hours before the plane touches down. So as you can imagine, first day or so is a little bit jet lag, and it's great to be functionally normal for almost the end of the week, but I would certainly I'd do it again. It's so much fun working with individuals that come to a workshop not because they're forced to, because they want to. They want to be part. They want to learn what are the best practices in the industry. Because this show is about factory of the future, and not having processes that are synced, that are mended together, is a bit of working in a silo. The idea is to create autonomy, often creating that human-centric approach. So like I said, I just wanted to say hi, and I hope you catch us on the next podcast. Take care, everyone.